What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I see the title going down. Make sure to hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it in the title. Ilhan Omar net worth 2019 was 45,000. 2025, fast forward, 30 million. I've never and the crazy thing is, you can see something like this happening, but it's very rare. I should say. I'm not about to sit here and be like, oh, this is something that's never... 30 million is a lot, though. So it's very rare. That's the thing. It's very rare. You just don't wake up and, become a millionaire. Or even this much. And I know it's probably more. Definitely probably more. And, again, for some people, yeah, you might, wake up and it's 30 million just sitting in your account. I don't know. Who am I to say? But one thing about it is that we know that it has a lot of fraud and corruption, with a lot of this. Definitely say. Got right here, a House investigation has been launched into Somali Ilhan Omar's net worth up to 30 million. So this isn't nothing to play with. I've obviously showed multiple posts, and y'all been seeing things, of them. Oh, they're investigating, they're doing this, Oh, trust me. It's not looking good for Ilhan Omar whatsoever. Let's check it out right here, y'all.
Ilhan Omar's net worth went up nearly $30 million. The question is how? Here's what we know. Omar's husband, a former political consultant, owns a venture capital firm based in Washington, D.C. and a winery in California. Take a look at these numbers. In 2023, Omar disclosed a maximum of $50,000 in assets at the winery. The next year, Dana, that number increased to $5 million. Meanwhile, her husband's company, Rose Lake Capital, reported a maximum of $1,000 in assets in 2023. The next year, it was $25 million. Despite that, Omar denied being a millionaire earlier this year, posting on X, quote, "I barely have thousands, let alone millions." House Oversight Committee Chairman James
I barely have thousands, let alone millions. I'm gonna be wondering, what did she post this? February 10th, it's the 20th. Let me explain something to y'all. I wouldn't even have said nothing. Because this makes you even more guilty when you sit here and you make posts like this. I barely have thousands, let alone millions. Why are you telling people how much you got? Only a guilty person would do that.
Millions. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer tells Fox News an investigation is underway, writing, quote, "The committee is working on addressing ethics concerns regarding Representative Omar and her spouse, and we hope to have an update soon." But Omar says she's being targeted.
Ever since I've gotten to Congress, they have been doing these sort of weird ethics investigations. None of them have yielded anything because I have been as transparent as I can be.
Of course, others see it differently. Elon Musk says Omar committed fraud, while President Donald Trump posted on Truth Social, quote, "She should be in jail or even a worse punishment, sent back to Somalia." Omar authored the Meals Act in 2020, which loosened oversight on food programs during COVID. Federal prosecutors say one of those programs, Feeding Our Future, stole $250 million through fake meal sites. We did reach out to Omar as part of this story, but so far we have not heard back, Dana.
Let me explain. Let me tell y'all something. And this is, I want y'all to be completely honest with me. I don't want y'all in the comments lying. I know. But I want y'all to be completely honest with me. I know a lot of y'all would do that. But you meaning to tell me, I want y'all to be completely honest with me. If y'all had a plan and y'all set this individual up and set this up and set that up and millions came about, you mean to tell me you're not taking none of those million, a million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million? You're not gonna touch nothing? Lying, bro. I'm telling y'all, I know for a fact, if you take it upon yourself to set some stuff up and you got a whole plan worked out, that's just like a bank robber. You got a bank robber that's setting everything up like, oh yeah, we gonna do this, we gonna do that. We have all this situated, all this going. Y'all go do this. I don't even want nothing out of it. Or better yet, let's set all this up. I'm gonna show y'all how to do it. I'm going to be in the background, but I'm going to show y'all how to do all this. Y'all ain't got to pay me nothing, though. There's no way, bro. I promise you, there is no way she's not and don't have any type of money. I don't care what anybody says. It's common sense. It's all common sense. Trust and believe. You got it right here, President Trump, y'all. Check it out.
Nobody talks about the fact that $19 billion at a minimum is missing in Minnesota, given to a large degree by Somalians. They've taken it. Somalians, can you imagine? And they don't do it. A lot of very low IQ people, they don't do it. Other people work it out, and they get them money, and they go out and buy Mercedes-Benzes, and they come from here, they have no money. They never had money. They never had a life. They never had a government. They never had a country, because there's basically no country. Somalia is not even a country. They don't have anything that resembles a country. And if it is a country, it's considered just about the worst in the world. They come here and they become rich and they don't have a job. I was told that Ilhan Omar is worth $30 million. She never had a job. She's a crooked congressman.
As y'all see, definitely looking, deep into this. Definitely looking deep into this. Before I start talking, President Trump again on Somalia.
It's worse.
Minnesota, but I had to say Somalia because, you might as well call it that.
No, Minnesota, the crime is incredible. The financial crimes are incredible. And the problem is because of the agitators and insurrectionists, whatever you want, troublemakers, but they're paid agitators and insurrectionists. Nobody talks about the fact that $19 billion at a minimum is missing in Minnesota, given to a large degree by Somalians. They've taken it. Somalians, can you imagine? And they don't do it. A lot of very low IQ people, they don't do it. Other people work it out, and they get them money, and they go out and buy Mercedes-Benzes, and they come from here, they have no money. They never had money. They never had a life. They never had a government. They never had a country, because there's basically no country. Somalia is not even a country. They don't have anything that resembles a country. And if it is a country, it's considered just about the worst in the world. They come here and they become rich and they don't have a job. I was told that.
Exactly. Definitely sickening. Don't have a job, just come here and they automatically they got money. They rich. They got the cars, they got the jewelry, they got the clothes, new shoes, the whole nine. And again, they have all of this, they have all the assistance, when it comes to food stamps, when it comes to assistance of living, and you still have people that actually serve this country and living on the streets. How does that sound? Pretty wild to me. You got J.D. Vance, Vice President, will be traveling to Minneapolis on Thursday to assess the situation on the ground. One thing about it, I do pray, that everything is smooth. Whoever is going there, even with the protesters, even though I don't like, that you have protesters out there that's doing it. One thing about it, again, child of God, I don't like seeing stuff, happen but why put yourself in that position? Why put yourself in that position? Shouldn't even be like that. Definitely shouldn't be like that. But check it out right here. Vice President J.D. Vance. I think I accidentally fast forward, y'all. Check it out.
Here's the simple fact here. If you're a young parent struggling to afford childcare in the United States of America, there are programs that we have to make it easier for your kids to get in daycare, for your kids to get in preschool. Those programs should go to American citizens, not be defrauded by Somali immigrants and others. Make it hard for you to get the access to the resources you need. But number two, making it easier for people who shouldn't even be in this country to fleece the United States and our taxpayers to begin with. We have actually activated a major interagency task force to make it possible to get to the heart of this fraud. We have Department of Agriculture resources that are focused on SNAP fraud so that people who need food benefits can get them, but illegal aliens and other fraudsters don't. We have over 1,500 subpoenas that the Department of Justice has issued to get to the heart of the fraud ring. We've done almost 100 indictments, mostly Somali immigrants, but also a few others. And of course, we're looking in with broad investigatory authority to a number of the instances of wrongdoing that we've seen in Minneapolis. But we also want to expand this. We know that the fraud isn't just happening in Minneapolis, it's also happening in states like Ohio. It's happening in states like California. And so what we're doing in order to help coordinate this remarkable interagency effort from the Trump administration, but also to make sure that we prosecute the bad guys and do it as swiftly and efficiently as possible, is we are creating a new Assistant Attorney General position who will have nationwide jurisdiction over the issue of fraud. Now, of course, that person's efforts will start and focus primarily in Minnesota, but it is going to be a nationwide effort because, unfortunately, the American people have been defrauded in a very nationwide way.
Y'all see it. Y'all see it. Says Trump is going all in on Minnesota, and Tim Walz hates it. We're definitely seeing that. Says right here, this Ilhan Omar has joined in with the anti-ICE rioters. Her citizenship should be revoked.
You all have refused to back down. You all have decided that this resistance is not one that can be intimidated. We are showing the nation that regardless of what the tyrant in the White House believes, we know that we are here to stay, and this is our country. We are going to make a life here, and we are going to stand up for our neighbors here in Minneapolis. As many of you know, they came to terrorize, abduct, and deport Somali immigrants here in Minnesota. When they couldn't find any, because majority of us are legal residents and citizens, they decided to terrorize our Latino immigrants.
She knows she caught. That's all it is. She knows she caught. I mean, again, right here, she knows she caught.
We want ICE out of our district. We want them out of our state. We want this terror to stop.
Why does she keep on saying terror? Terrorize, using words like that when you clearly have those protesters that's doing all of this. Does she not see like what's going? Like, I'm just confused. Are they not seeing this? You got people stealing rifles and equipment out of these agents' cars and trucks. Somebody stole Nick Shorter's camera, I believe, that $1,000 camera. You got people doing stuff like that, and y'all know they're gonna blame. They blame President Trump. They blame President
People
Trump.
are being interrupted, and it is not justifiable for the president to target our state and the
Blame
residents
President Trump. That's all
of the
she
beautiful
wants.
state of Minnesota this way.
That's all she does. Blame President Trump. Sickening. I promise you, it's sickening. Here you go. Marco Rubio says all visas from Somalia and 74 other countries starting this week. One thing about it, definitely one thing about it, this is very great news. Check it out.
The State Department will stop processing immigrant visas from 75 countries over concerns that migrants from these countries take welfare at unacceptable rates, saying that the freeze will remain in effect until they can make sure new migrants won't abuse our welfare system. So how effective do you think this initiative will be?
Well, it's incredibly important. I think if the American people knew that people were coming to our country and expecting the American taxpayer to foot the bill, they'd be shocked. So we're taking clear action here to make sure that doesn't happen. We're ending the abuse of our immigration system. We're making sure that people do not rely on benefits, especially cash assistance, when they come here. So that pause is essential to make sure that we have the standards in place to fully implement this policy. And this is also in the context of a series of actions when it comes to visa to make sure that we are living up to our responsibility that each visa decision is a national security decision. And fundamentally, visa security is border security. Of course, we think of the border when we think of border security, but who we are letting into our country is so important. That's why you see the revocations of those on visas that have broken our laws here. That's why you see increased vetting standards. That's why you see us looking at social media where people live so much of their time, so much of their life now online. So we're taking clear action to make sure our country is secure, and visa security is a key part of that.
I love it. One thing about it is I love it. You got it right here. This is what I was talking about. I don't know if y'all seen my last video. I was talking about, these high school students, college students that's been walking out, because, of the ICE, and Renee Good, and truly, if this is what they want to do, then hey, you go for it. Me personally, again, I don't see the reason on why they're doing this. I mean, it's just one of those things. Like this is what a reason of skip school. I don't really know where they're trying to get it to yell. And my thing is, this is my thing. Y'all literally doing all of this. And not even realizing a lot of these individuals that they're taking out, taking out not literally, but taking out of this country, arresting, doing this, doing that, have that criminal, a bad rap sheet. Even if that is their job to do, like any other president has done. But then you have these individuals, just because they don't like President Trump, and not even realizing and seeing who their real enemies are, is completely insane to me. This is a post by President Trump. Y'all can find this on Benny Johnson said, President Trump says jail isn't enough for Ilhan Omar. Says there's $19 billion in Minnesota Somalia fraud. Fake Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, a constant complainer who hates the USA, knows everything there is to know, and truly she does. Definitely does. She should be in jail, or even worse, punishment. Sent back to Somalia. Consider one of the absolutely worst countries in the world. She could help to make Somalia great again. Let me tell y'all something. I don't think, and I know for a fact, if she was to get sent back to Somalia, and this is, again, I don't want y'all to take this the wrong way, but if she was to get sent back to Somalia, trust and believe it wouldn't be so great. And it wouldn't be so great because y'all know and y'all seen videos of individuals that lives in Somalia that's literally saying, okay, she's here, she's in this position, and she's going to have everything in control, and she got everything. So for her not only to get caught for this fraud, and that's why I truly want this, for them to get and handle this situation, because I know for a fact they're not going to like it. They're not going to like that one bit, because I truly feel like Ilhan Omar is truly their only hope when it comes down to it. So they definitely need to do something, about that. Forget about all, and people would say, oh, well, what about, the Somalians that trust and believe? Those Somalians, just like that video, was it my last video, y'all? It was my last video I posted, so make sure y'all go check that out. But just like that guy was explaining, it truly goes to that was my last video. It truly goes to show y'all that a lot of those Somalians that have, those expensive cars, this, that, and the other, that has these fraudulent, businesses, trust and believe they don't have it, there. They don't have it there. So they obviously don't know what to do. They're doing as they're told. So when you have that, Ilhan Omar is trust and believe. Ilhan Omar is literally, she has all of that together. And that's, why I need them to get on top of it. Says right here, who thinks Tim Walz should go to prison and Ilhan Omar should be deported? Do y'all fully support this? Y'all let me know in the comments. Definitely appreciate y'all. Much love, everybody. Catch y'all next one.